guys, and welcome back to the channel Help Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you enjoy what you've seen and if you want to see more. Coming up in today's episode, we have a look at the Betfred League One's fixtures for the weekend. We also have a look at the Betfred Championship and all the games that were played on the Sunday, as well as the highlights from Salford Red Devils' trip to Wakefield Trinity. So we'll begin today with the Super League game between Wakefield and Salford, as we have all the highlights of the game. Now, let's see who plays in against who in this match, where Wakefield is trying to climb above their opponents, while Salford are looking to get further up the league. So for the away side, the changes that of note are that King Vuni Yayawa and Alex Gerrard both are promoted from the bench in place of Jack Wells and James Greenwood in an otherwise unchanged starting 13. On the bench, Greg Burke replaces Joshua Johnson in the interchange positions. For the home side, there are also two changes, as Lewis Murphy drops out of the 17 and it's Tom Johnston who replaces him on the wing, while on the pitch, James Batchelor comes into the starting lineup for Jordan Crowther, who in turn drops to the bench, in an otherwise unchanged starting 17 for Wakefield. So here are the highlights. First of all, we see Wakefield run to the left-hand side with the ball, and the ball works out to Tom Johnson, who does well to skip round his opposing number, and he passes the ball inside to Jacob Miller for the first try of the game, which Max Jowett converts for a 6-0 lead. Salford come back though. After a couple of good set-up plays, the ball is eventually worked to the left-hand side as Tim Lifey finds, with a good pass, Reece Williams, who scores in the corner. Back come Wakefield though, and they go to their trusty left edge once again, as Jacob Miller puts a bomb into the corner and Tom Johnson raises high enough to add the next 4-pointer, which Jowett adds another 2-2 with a good kicking display so far. At 12-0 to Wakefield, Salford decide to run the line, and with no options, it turns out that Brodie Croft puts a kick into the corner. Now quick as a flash, Tom Johnson gets it, and he sees a gap and broken field up ahead, and he's away, and he passes it on to Liam Kay, who is held down just before halfway, but that doesn't stop Wakefield as they go through the hands to Reece Lynn, who crosses the halfway and beats Ryan Briley and Andy Ackers to go in for a fabulous Wakefield try. Jowett adds the 2 and it's 18 points to 6. Just before half time, Wakefield are in again as Mason Lino runs to the line, finds Liam Hood, and a long ball goes into Tom Johnson, who goes into evasion mode, and he beats lots of men, and he uses his space to outstrip Ryan Briley for another Wakefield try, which gives it a 24 points to 6 half-time lead. Salford though are the first team to cross over in the second half, as Dion Cross finds a way through to the try line. Next, Salford go to their right edge, their trusty right edge, as they work their hands and find Ken Seo, who ducks inside to score another try, his 9th of the season. From a Wakefield dropout, a short dropout, Salford come up with the ball again, and it's that man Williams in the corner for his second try of the game. Wakefield though have a response on the 71st minute, as a kick to the corner finds Liam Kay, who passes on to Jay Pitts, who goes in, which is also converted by Jowett. But Salford won't lie down, and then after a close to the line attempt, it's the 79th minute, but before that he sees Liam Hood go to the bin for holding down and a professional foul, and Wakefield are down to 12, but he's injured in the case. But to finish off the game, the ball goes right to Kensio again for his 10th of the season, which Sneed puts over for order 2, and it is a full-time score of 30 points to 24 to the Wakefield Trinity. So after 7 rounds, here's how the Super League table looks. St Helens lead the way with 6 wins from their 7 games, with Wigan tying on 12 points but are behind on points differential. Huddersfield Giants closing to 3rd place after 5 wins from their 7 games, and Catalans dropped down a place due to their defeat over the weekend. Hull are next after getting in a decent win and now make their 5th place, while Wakefield Trinity are on the march up the table due to their recent performances. Warrington are sliding down the table due to some poor results yet again, but Hull KR are down there too, despite their win over the weekend. Salford Red Devils have been replaced in 6th place by Wakefield, while Castleford Tigers, despite a good result, are still 3rd from bottom. Leeds Rhinos are in trouble though, as they and Toulouse have only got 1 win each and are both 11th and 12th respectively. Next, we are going to look into the Betfred Championship, as there were 5 games played on Sunday that we will bring you the scores and the scorers for. To begin, Workington 18, York 44. York went into the first half pretty well as they came out at half time, 20 points to 0 ahead. With Harris scoring with Thompson, Brown and Edwards, and 4 kicks from Harris. While Harris scored the second, and Glover scored twice, as well as Jupp, for the full 44 points for Knights. Workington though had Henson scoring twice, Forber going over as well, and Forber kicking 3 goals from the 3 attempts. Next we have Barrow Raiders 18, Batley Bulldogs as 30. Batley came out with a win after Walshaw, White, Hooley, Buchanan and Whiteley all went over for tries, and Gilmore kicked 3 conversions and 2 penalties to set them on for the win. A 20 points to 6 half-time lead wasn't what Barrow Raiders wanted as a result of last week's performance against Huddersfield Giants. But they had Shaw, Morrow and recent signing Morgan Escaray to thank for their tries, while Samet kicked over 3 conversions. Next it was Featherstone 44, Sheffield Eagles 18. The Eagles were resoundingly beaten at Featherstone, a place where they're going to play a couple of games, to be honest, as their stadium is yet to be completed. But Featherstone are continuing their march up the table, as Leilua, hat-trick for Briscoe, Jacks, Hall, Wildy and Smith all went over for tries, and Hall kicked 6 conversions, while Jones, Buchanan, Broadbent, Riley and Bauer all went over for Sheffield Eagles. Farrell kicked 1 goal. Halifax beat Whitehaven 46 points to 24 for this game. In a one-sided affair, we see Halifax had Keys, who scored twice, Arundel, Kavanagh, Guaze, Barber, Walmsley and Moore for all their tries, while Keys kicked 7 goals. Whitehaven's response was from King, 2 tries from Williams. Eccleston also went over for 1, while Holiday kicked 4 goals. This was a one-sided affair as in the second half, as Whitehaven's points were all scored in the first half, and they led at half-time 24 points to 10. And in the final game of Sunday, we see London 6, Bradford 8. Bradford went in at half-time 8 points to 0 up after Dawson Jones and Patton converted his try, and Patton hit the penalty that gave the 2-point lead late in the first half. Binek and Mokidreke was the conversion after Binek went over for the try early in the second half, and from all the accounts, it was the London club that were knocking on the door throughout the second half, but were unable to break the defence down. A great display from Bradford Bulls in defence, but London on the attack all the way through the second half, proving a bit more promising for the Broncos as they're getting closer to their first win of the season. As a result of those matches, here is the league table. Featherstone Rovers lead the way with Leigh Centurions behind by on equal points, but points scored in Featherstone's favour. York City Knights are getting closer towards the top 2 with 5 wins from their 7 games. Barrow Raiders' loss against Batley was a shock result as they were looking to push further towards the top of the league. Widnes Vikings, who we'll come to in a few moments as they play Newcastle Thunder on Monday night, are 5th with Bradford Bulls, Batley Bulldogs following, and on tied points with Sheffield Eagles. Batley have a draw to their name as well, that's why they're above Sheffield. Halifax and Newcastle come next, while Whitehaven, Dewsbury, London Broncos and Workington finish off the league table. So that final game of the round is Newcastle versus Widnes, and it's live from Premier Sports 1 from 7:15 PM with the match kicking off at 7:45. So now into League One, where we see a debuting team. Just to let you know, keep up with the housework, the London Scholars have their bye week due to the 11 teams it being in the league. Here are the results. So the first game of League One this weekend was West Wales 12, Rochdale Hornets 52. One-sided affair for the Hornets as they were 16 points to 6 leaders at half-time, with the team scoring through Sheridan twice, Green, Nixon hat-trick and a McNally hat-trick, while Sheridan kicked over 7 goals as well as kicking a penalty. For West Wales, Simpson and Pulp scored the tries, while Simpson converted 2 tries. The next game saw North Wales Crusaders beating the newly installed Cornwall side 62 points to 52. While Rodden Massam scored 2 tries and Breer scored 2 tries, the son of Lee Breers, Gibson, Johnson, Swarbrick and Arvan scored, as well as Billsborough and Holmes scored a try apiece for North Wales Crusaders. Johnson kicked 7 goals. While Cornwall got a lot of plaudits for their endeavour in attack, scoring 22 points in their first ever game together. Turton, Aronson, Witten, Snell, as well as 3 kicks from Johns, were the way that Cornwall went about their business. There was a couple of yellow cards though for Wood and Sharrett, I think it was, that for North Wales Crusaders that helped Cornwall get some sort of an even keel in the game. But for a first hit up out, Cornwall showed some really good attacking play. If you want to see the game, please go onto our league app and catch up with it because it was a fun one. What you'd expect from a new team coming in as their first game, then they're using their drilling as their coach has well drilled them for going forward, but they were the attack down the outside was where they needed to work on, and there was a bit more that needed to be done around the ruck as well. But otherwise, I'd be happy if I were Cornwall. I'm very proud of their hit up, their first game in the league. Now we move on to Sunday's game as Hunslet and Oldham played out a 22-all draw. It was 16 points to 4 in the away side's favour going into half time. Then Hunslet hit back with the tying up of the game. For Hunslet, Hartley, Horn, Render and 2 tries from Reety set them into a point shared with Oldham, while Mallinson kicked over 1 goal. For Oldham, Holcroft, Restall, Hewitt and Copland all scored tries, while Ridyard kicked over 3 goals. Next we have Keighley Cougars playing out a 26 points to 6 win over their near rivals Doncaster. Tries from Stevenson, Graham, Young, Roebuck and Webster set Keighley on their way after a 10 points to 0 half-time lead, with Miller and Feather kicking the 3 goals out of the 5 attempts. Johnston and Robinson scored the points for Doncaster. And finally, Midland 16, Swinton Lions 54. It was a one-sided affair throughout the game, but it was more so in the second half as Swinton led 30 points to 10 at half time and only had 6 points to contend with in the second half. Tries from Meadows, Brogan, Abrams, Spencer, Jarnett, Case, Butt and 2 from Hatton set Swinton on their way, and Abrams kicked 9 goals. The points for the Midland Hurricanes were from Stead, Boardman and Hardcastle for the tries, and 2 goals converted by Hardcastle again. And this is the table how it looks early stages as Swinton lead the way with 2 wins from 2. Keighley second due to points difference. Again, third place goes to North Wales Crusader, again 12 points difference. Hunslet and Rochdale have a win apiece, as does Doncaster, while Oldham, London, Cornwall, Midland and West Wales Raiders are all yet to get off the mark. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide so we can get the word out for our Rugby League lives. And also to grow this channel. It'll be fantastic to get up to 200 by the end of the week. But hey, sooner than better, that'd be great. Tell me what your thoughts are of today's episode. Did anyone catch the Cornwall game? North Wales Crusaders went about their business properly, professionally, and as they would be expected to. But there was endeavour, heart, and also a cup final feel for Cornwall as it's their first ever game. Lots of firsts out there for them to remember for the rest of their lives. Salford, are they on the trajectory down, or have they got a couple of good results still to come to push them back up the league to give them that confidence again? Some good highlights. Tom Johnson being injured in the game. Gets injured quite a lot, but he's a player that everyone would want in their team when he's 100% fit and raring. I've got a feeling if it's a back injury, he needs to get rid of that mullet. It's weighing him down. Anyway, team of the week. Who would it be? My soft spot will be for Cornwall, I must admit, but you tell me yours in the comments below. And tell me if you're going to be watching the Premier Sports game tonight and who's going to win between Newcastle and Widnes. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Remember to share this video worldwide, and I will wish you all the best. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.